Hi YouTube. So I just want to make a video about my Discus and just a couple of points on some things I've learned over the time of having them. And the first one is quality. If you're thinking about getting Discus, do the research, find a good source, a quality source, someone that deals solely with Discus, someone that cares about the product, someone that cares about Discus and that knows about them, and that has an enclosed system, that has just Discus in their system. It's worth the time, it's worth the effort, it's worth the extra money, if you have to pay extra money. I didn't do that at the start. I was impatient. I went to a pet store, bought some Discus, did everything I could, quarantine, did everything that I researched, as in, Medicaid, quarantine and everything, and they still died. So half of them basically died. And it was because they were bad in the first place. I ended up bringing back the ones that were left over, and I found a good source, and I got the rest of the Discus you see here from that good source, apart from 2 which I did keep, and those were just, if you get 10 Discus from a bad source, you're probably only going to get 1 or 2 that are good, and some will die. So save yourself the hassle, do the research, find a good source, pay the extra money if you have to. It's worth it, believe me. The second point I wanted to make was pH. My pH comes out of my tap at 7.4 to 7.6, and I was keeping my Discus in that because I read all the reviews, not reviews, but YouTube videos or whatever about pH and Discus, and people were saying that it's better to keep it stable rather than change it. And I thought, great, I'll just keep my tap water. But my Discus did always look a little bit stressed at times. Some of them, not all of them, and some were able to handle harder pH than others. So I decided I would try and lower my pH. So I lowered it from 7.4, 7.6 down to 6.8. Now, that's not obviously in the kind of Amazonian, natural habitat Discus, which is 6 to 6.5, but it was a nice number that I could get to, and keep quite easily, going from 7.4 to 6.8. Now, when you're dealing with pH, it's actually 10 times greater. So if you go from like 7 to 8, it means it's got 10 times more alkalinity. And then if you go from 8 to 9, it's actually got 100 times more. So if you go from 7 to 9, it's got 100 times more. So it goes like from 7 to 8 is 10, and then if you go from 7 to 9, it's 100. So it's multiplied by 10 for every 1. So yeah, so going from 7.4 to 6.8 is still quite a lot. Ever since I done that, and it's just a nice number to keep because it's soft, but it's obviously not crazy soft. My Discus just came to life. They're just so much happier. They're thriving. They're eating perfectly. They're swimming. What I mean is they're just acting very natural. They don't seem to be stressed. It definitely made a difference, and I'm definitely glad I did it. How I did it was I used some of these products. So I used Discus buffer, and I used neutral regulator. So you use the 2 of them together, and you basically just use 1 to 1. So you use 1 dose of this and 1 dose of that, and it will keep it at 6.8, or you can go even lower than that, right down to 5.8. But I just thought 6.8 I was happy enough with that. Basically you use that, and then that will keep it at 6.8. So that, and then that will keep it at 6.8. Now it does say that you need to redose after a month, because obviously it will start to, your pH will move again after a month. But most people change their water, 100% of their water, more than 100% of their water within a month, I'm sure. And if they're not doing that, then I don't know, in my opinion, I think with Discus you want to be changing a lot anyway. I do like 2 to 3 water changes a week anyway, at least. And then I use the prime as well. I just use that as a backup. Like, you don't really need to use it because this actually conditions the water as well. So basically it brings it down to 6.8 and it keeps it there, and it's just a pretty affordable way of doing it, because it's I know people can get RO units or RO water to do it, but for me that's a pretty affordable way. I have the driftwood, but the driftwood It did move the pH for a while, and then it stopped, because once it stopped releasing tannins, it stops reducing your pH. So for me, that was a good way of doing it. Yeah, and it works. It really does. And my discus are happy because of it. And yeah, that's basically it. I think if you get the water right and your pH right, and then get them from a good source in the first place, and then, you know, after that, you know, that's not obviously taking into account like having a, you know, a healthy tank in the first place and all those little things. But then keeping your tank clean, keeping your water clean, there's no problem keeping discus. You know, but those, you know, especially that first point. And for me, in my opinion, you know, the pH, I think it's better to have discus in soft water. No matter, in my opinion, I think that's I'm definitely never going to keep discus in hard water ever again. So anyway, I hope that people got that you got some ideas from this, and if not, it's fine. It's just my opinion on things. So thanks for watching.